Hello friends, today we are going to start a new series that is lectures on post-colonial literature. I think this will be useful to you because in all Indian universities, the syllabi they have included literature and the empire. So at least part of what I am doing here, you may find in your syllabus. The empire writes back. The empire writes back. Theory and practice in post-colonial literatures. The empire writes back. Theory and practice. Theory and practice in post-colonial literatures. This is the title of that path-breaking book, questioning Eurocentric attitudes, and that too by three authors. Maybe you are familiar with them. Bill Ashcroft, Gareth Griffiths, and Helen Tiffin. I will write the names on the board. Bill Ashcroft, and then second is Gareth Griffiths. You can see, I suppose, no? And the third is Helen Tiffin. So these are the three authors who wrote this book. The Empire Writes Back, Theory and Practice in Post-Colonial Literatures. First published in 1989. The first major theoretical account of post-colonial literatures. Significant and path-breaking. And also radical critique of Eurocentrism attitudes, Eurocentric notions about literature and criticism. So actually this is, you can say that in post-colonial studies, this book has great value and significance. Now, the first chapter of this book, that's the title I have written here, Cutting the Ground, Critical Models of Post-Colonial Literature. But before that, you see, the title, The Empire Writes Back. 1982, Salman Rushdie wrote an article, The Empire Writes Back with a Vengeance. And now that is a pun on Star Wars. The Empire Strikes Back. The Empire Strikes Back. So about the title, there are some references you can see now. See, that is 1982, Salman Rushdie wrote the article, The Empire Writes Back with a Vengeance. That is. Now this was a pun on Star Wars, the film. Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back. That's it. So you can see the title now. Similarities. And this is the title of the book, The Empire Writes Back, Theory and Practice in Post-Colonial Literatures, by Bill Ashcroft, Gareth Griffiths, and Helen Tiffin. Then in 1982, and also we saw the significance, Eurocentric questioning, a critique of Eurocentric notions. 82, Salman Rushdie wrote The Empire Writes Back with a Vengeance, and there was a pun on the title, The Empire Strikes Back. Understand? So that's about the title. And you can see, as we have already seen that the importance of this book. And what does it tell us? You know, the opening lines in this chapter 1, you can see, cutting the ground critical models of colonial literature. You can see there is two words written there. Post-colonial literature, the special character of post-colonial literature. Special character of post-colonial text. So what is this post-colonial text after all? Post-colonial literature. What do you mean by post means after? Like we said post-mortem, after the death. That is after death, that is post-mortem means. And that forensic examination of the dead body, you will say it is a post-mortem, you say. Now, what does what does it mean? Post-colonial. Post-colonial literatures means literatures produced by people. Literature by people of formerly colonized countries. Formerly colonized countries. This colonization can take place in two ways. So people, when they write, produce literature, people of formerly colonized countries, you call that post-colonial literature. So that is the definition. What is meant by post-colonial literature? Post-colonial literature. That is literature produced by people of formerly colonized countries. You will find this throughout the world, except Antarctica. Because throughout the world, there was a time of colonization. This colonization can take place in two ways. One is by occupation, invasion. So colonization can be one by invasion or occupation, and then means occupying somebody's territory. That is occupation means, not job. What is occupation? Not that. So invasion or by settlement. Settlement. You will find America, for example, by settlement, not invasion. Canada, Australia, so settlement colonies. There's no war, isn't it? There's no invasion. But that's not the case with India. With the East India Company, then Plassey, the Battle of Plassey, Robert Clive, as founder of the British Empire in India. Yes. You must learn this in history, Indian history. And Nigeria and Kenya and almost all the African countries, West Indies, South Pacific. So everywhere you will find this colonization. Now, people of these former colonies, when they produce literature, you call that post-colonial literature. After they became colonies. And after some day, the next step was independence of this. They all became republics and democracies. Or some of them dictatorship. That depends. India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, so that Asian countries, and so on. So that is what post-colonial literature means. Now, as I told you, the first thing that attracts you is the special character. What is the special character? Special character of post-colonial literature. That's what these three others say. When you look at the post-colonial literature, you get the special character. Why? What is the reason for that? So we saw what is colonization, and then what is how colonization can happen. That is two ways. One is by settlement and one is by occupation. That is by force. You occupy a land by force. That is what we saw, what we call invasion. Now the first thing that attracts you, or the special character is caused by, is the vast. The post-colonial literatures are vast and varied. That's what you find. Vast and varied. American literature is post-colonialist. West Indies literature is post-colonialist. South African literature is post-colonialist. Canadian literature is post-colonialist. then Australian is so Indian is post-colonial. So you have got a vast and varied. That's one of the reasons why. Because everywhere these texts, post-colonial texts, are influenced by innumerable variables like language, culture, place, religion, and culture is a way of life. So that everywhere. Canadian type of literature is not exactly even that of America. Or you'll find Canadians different from Australian, Australian different from South African. But they are all together, you can say, by one you can use just one term, post-colonial literature. So that's one of the main reasons why special characters. And the second, you can see all these countries, all these colonies, they are subjugated ones. Subjugated. People were subjugated, means they were suppressed and kept, you can say, by force. So then you can see the mindset of the people. Naturally, there is bound to be a rebellion. Rebellious, when there is suppression, then naturally it will lead to rebellion. Isn't it? So, these characteristics of a rebelliousness you will see in these post-colonial special characteristics. And then you will find the third is definitely the language and culture, influence of language and the culture. How different, varied culture. In India, you will find Indian writings in English, we say. Indian writings in English. Or Indo-Anglian literature. Many names are given that Indo-Anglian literature. You can see, even English language, English language is our library language or linked language you call, how differently this is spoken. Because of influence of mother tongue. So, another reason, special character is language and culture of that area. Influence of the language and culture of that area. And then you will find there is, or in such countries you have got two types of people. Dominated, that means the people of that place native, and dominating. Dominated and dominating you will find. Again, that gives a special color or special character to post-colonial test. Because for years, for example, you have been dominated. Then the psychic, the effect on the psyche of these people, suke, that means mind of the people. Hegemony, isn't it? To use that word given to us by Italian Marxist Antonio Gramsci, hegemony. Living under a hegemonic pressure, we can say, domination. So it gives a special character to this post-colonial text. Then you find changes in education system. The introduction of education in some places and changes in others. Most of the time, the dominating powers, they try to establish their domination by means of education. Because education is one way of changing the mind of people. Here you can see English, isn't it? English education here, and in Australia, and in America, or in the West Indies. Everywhere you will find that the texts are provided by the, what they call metropolitan colonial axis. Metropolitan, that is Britain, so to say. So that is the influence, always you will find the education system, influence of the British government and English literature. So that again adds to the special character of the post-colonial text. Understand? And another reason you will find is in the language, the pressure on the language to express certain special ideas of that particular locality. Incompatibility, you can say. Language and its incompatibility. That is, language is unable to cope with, you can see, or the local expressions, local customs and so on, difficult for, because language is an immortal language. An immortal language, sometimes when you use the immortal language, you find it difficult to express local ideas and terms relating to local festivals, then local place names, very difficult. You can see here itself, you will find in India, you will find this difference now. Bombay, now we have changed it to Mumbai. See that? Madras, that has been changed now to Tamil Nadu. Mysore, that has been changed to Karnataka, like that. See, these are our local names. But the English people came and then called a city Mysore, the whole state Mysore. City Madras, the whole state Madras. Now that has been changed. Now that I'm just trying to tell you that how difficult it is for the important language to express even place names, local place names in that language. So another reason why this special character of lesson. And connected to dominating, you can see all these people, they had a subaltern experience. Subaltern experience. These colonized people they underwent subaltern experience. This is the term that we take from, we borrow from Gayatri Spivak, an expert in subaltern studies. No? Yeah. What is subaltern means? Means we are inferior. They consider themselves to be superior, and or the other, we can say, other. So in our own land or in your own land, you are alienated. That is, you are subaltern, so to say. And the invaders or those people who occupied the land with force, they became the masters. A master-slave situation. Of course, that will be reflected in the post-colonial special character of post-colonial text. And of course, we have got then many adjustment problems. Adjustment problems. See, sometimes you will find these points overlap. Adjustment problem. Understand that? But still, you can see there is some reason why this special character or they acquired a special character. That is post-colonial text acquired a. And another, of course, is that Eurocentric notions, influence of Eurocentric notions of aesthetics and your notions and canon, aesthetics and canon. So these are again directly, it will have an impact on the special character of a post-colonial text. Understand that? And again, you will find, you can go on adding characteristics like this or reasons for this special characteristics of special character post-colonial text like this. If you think again, you will find hybridity, you will find syncretism. What these terms mean, we will see later, because when we take up this in detail, different models, cutting the ground, critical models of post-colonial literature, then we will see it in more detail. For the time being, you can say what is hybrid in hybrid. Hybrid variety of seed we say. For example, a tall variety and a dwarf variety, together if you produce a new variety, that will be called a hybrid variety. Tall, these two characteristics together. And again, that is hybrid. Hybrid, there is nothing opposing each other. But syncretism means opposing forces come together. For example, suppose capitalism and communism, they are opposing forces. Because suppose they come together and you have got a capi-communism. Capi-communism. See? Or capitalism. Capital and communism. Capitalism. Suppose you have got a new economic theory, capitalism. Capitalism, that is, and into communism. So this is two opposing forces. Suppose part of these two, capitalism and communism, you bring together and they have a new economic theory, say like that, capitalism, isn't it? Capitalism, like this. Suppose there is no such word in English. I just created it for you to understand. So capitalism or capitalism, that's a good word. Yes. Capitalism. Then you will say that is an example for syncretism. It's opposing things. Actually, this word comes from the Greek situation. Cretan states, they were fighting each other. Cretan states. Cretan, C-R-E-T-A-N, Cretan states. So after some time they were united. So it was syncretism. Sin means together. So syncretism means the opposing forces, the opposing ideas or opposing cultures, mutually exclusive cultures. They come together, you call that syncretic. So the syncretism. So here also you will find syncretism in all post-colonial literatures. Why? Because one is English and one is British and the other is local. So when they come together, for some time they are opposing. Another very interesting thing you will find that every colony, every country colonized by the British or other European powers, you will find there will be pockets of resistance. And these pockets of resistance what will happen is after some time it will evolve into a national struggle for independence. So there is another reason why you have got this special character. Pockets of resistance, it becomes a kind of conflagration. So that, and what it develops into independent struggles. So these are some of the reasons why the special character of post-colonial texts. I hope you understand. Now, today I told you because you are the beginning introductory lecture, so think about this. Who are the three people who contributed to this study? That is Bill Ashcroft. Secondly, you have Gareth Griffiths, and the third is you have got Helen Tiffin. And the title of their book we have seen, Post-Colonial, The Empire Writes Back. The Empire Writes Back. Theory and Practice in Post-Colonial. The Empire Writes Back. Theory and Practice in Post-Colonial Literature. And this is chapter 1. This is probably part of a syllabi of many universities. The cutting the ground, critical models of what is cutting the ground means? Breaking the ice. So something new. A block of literature is just presented before you. It's something new, what to do? So we have got a 5 kilo cake presented to you. What do you do with it? You can't swallow the whole cake. So you cut into small pieces. So cutting the ground, making the small pieces. And then critical models. So you create models for that. When something is difficult, what do? You create a model and see whether it will work or not. So these people, they have created a model for studying or understanding post-colonial literatures. And the first major point that attracts you is their special character of post-colonial. And the special character, you have seen what are some of the reasons for this. Isn't it? That is, Mainly we can see cultural differences, language differences, then place differences. You find the resistance, for example. It ends up in struggle. A grain of wheat by Ngugi, that is. Then Kandapura by in India, Rajarau's Kandapura. So these are all what you must say accounts of liberation struggles also. Novels at the same time accounts of liberation struggles. So liberation struggle doesn't just it's not a cloudburst. It's a moment also it doesn't. It develops slowly. There will be resistance groups here and there. They will come together. So these things, these movements will definitely influence the post-colonial writings or post-colonial texts. So that's why we said they have got a special character. So point number one, the most important point to remember before you enter into this topic is post-colonialism. It will continue for some time because we will be taking up others also. George Lamming, Ngugi, then Soinga, such great authors. In India also we will be taking up others, Salman Rushdie and so on. There are people who are writing, for example. Then you have got Spivak, theoretical approaches. Spivak, theoretical approaches to post-colonial literature and post-colonialism. So that subaltern, the idea of subaltern in post-colonial literatures. So these are things that we will be studying. A thorough study of this entire paper, we can say. This is a paper, Literature and the Empire, and those who are interested, my fellow students, can expect my lectures one after another. Whenever you find any difficulty, try to contact me, and we will put our heads together and see what we can do to make things easy for you. Okay? So already I have done quite a lot of work, video lectures for my students. That is free of cost. You can see criticism, modern and ancient, Longinus, the sublime, Horace, Ars Poetica. Now presently again I am working on Aristotle. That will be you will see me standing here and lecturing on Aristotle's poetics, say within 15 or 20 days time, and then we will see other things like tradition and the individual talent with T.S. Eliot. As I have explained, and many people have given good, very positive comments on those 2-3 lectures. I have given 3 lectures on tradition and individual talent. And then modern poetry. Also there are lectures on T.S. Eliot, Eliot's The Wasteland. So linguistics, yes, right from say traditional grammar up to transformational generative grammar. That I also propose to continue that with government and binding, then semantics and other concepts in linguistics. And then you have got a complete course in formal grammar, English grammar, formal grammar, that is noun, adjective. You know the Renan Martin grammar, you can say. Some people are afraid of Renan Martin. I heard that one day I had a video talk by some great man. He said that when I hear the names of Renan Martin, I will run away and hide myself. I don't know why. Maybe he is afraid of Renan Martin, but Renan Martin is a basic good textbook on grammar, and that is formal grammar, etc. You can get it free of cost. See, I am making video lectures and uploading. Those interested can learn this and enrich yourself. And if you find that something is, I am going wrong somewhere, then definitely you can stop me, and then you can also contact me and say, what should I do? Definitely I will. Here I am, ready to accept your praise or blame with equanimity, tranquility. Tranquility, you can say, like Wordsworth, poetry is emotion collected in tranquility. Ah yes, on Wordsworth, lyrical ballads also, professional lyrical ballads. ballads. I given about 8 or 9 lectures on that, and lots on cultural studies like Raymond Williams, Stuart Hall, and Simon During, Ronald Barth, and Bhaskar Mukhopadhyaya, and a lot of others I have done already. I hope that this will be of great help to you, for those who are doing English literature, say BA or MA, both, see. So, and phonetics, about 20 lectures on phonetics. So, those interested can go through that free of cost and enjoy classes. Let us enjoy the classes together. If you feel any difficulty, please contact me. I will be always at your disposal. More than that, what do you want? Yes. Consider me as a student. Yes, that's okay. So, together work out these things, and till we meet again. Bye God.